In just a few months, there are going to be some big changes coming to your 401k. Last year, the Secure 2.0 Act was passed, and at the beginning of 2024, a number of changes go into effect. So in this video, we're going to cover the top 5 changes that may impact you and what you need to know in advance of these new rules going into effect. For those of you that are new to the channel, I'm Johnathan Rankin, the founder of Theorem Wealth, a retirement-focused wealth management firm, and I've been helping people plan and execute their retirement goals for going on 20 years now. So welcome to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our retirement planning videos or episodes of our retirement podcast called The Retire Once Show. Now, if you've been following us for a while, welcome back and thanks for being here. Now, the Secure 2.0 Act changed a lot of things when it passed last year. It increased the age for required minimum distributions to 73 for this year, and it will eventually become 75 in the year 2033. It will eventually allow for higher catch-up contribution rates for savers between the ages of 60 and 63, and the new law makes it possible to receive your employer matching contributions in the form of after-tax Roth dollars instead of pre-tax contributions. Now, all these changes are going to help people save more and allow for their assets to compound for a longer period of time. And most of the changes were not immediate. Some get phased in over time, like the age for required minimum distributions, and others get instituted on a specific date. Now that brings us to January 1st, 2024. There are 5 changes coming to retirement accounts that you will want to be aware of. The first change comes to mandatory distributions. Not required minimum distributions that you must take in your 70s. These are provisions that companies or plan sponsors add to their plans that allow them to cash out small balances. These mandatory distributions can be paid out with or without the consent of their participant or their spouse. Now, under current law, employers may transfer former employee retirement accounts from a retirement plan to an IRA if the balances are greater than $1,000, but no greater than $5,000. The Secure 2.0 Act increases that limit from $5,000 to $7,000. So the objective of this change is to consolidate small account balances and reduce leakage from the retirement system. In a study published last year that we covered in this video that we'll link to right here, over 40% of employees cashed out their 401k when changing jobs, and the hope is to change that trend by moving the funds into an IRA. Now, the challenging part is that it may be difficult to locate your account after the fact. Now, this is a growing trend. In fact, as of May 2023, there were an estimated 29.2 million forgotten or left behind 401k accounts in the US, and that represented $1.65 trillion in unclaimed assets. And that may increase because if you thought your account was in a 401k somewhere, and then you have to hunt it down only to find out it's in some other IRA account that you didn't even know was open, it may make it a little bit more challenging. And the next change impacts withdrawals for emergency expenses. So if you take money out early from a retirement account, like your 401k or an IRA, you typically have to pay a 10% penalty. However, with the Secure 2.0 rule, you can now take money out for urgent emergency expenses. Now, you could take up to $1,000 once a year, but you have the choice to put that money back within 3 years. If you decide that you want to pay it back, you can't take another emergency withdrawal until after those 3 years, unless you've already returned the money. Now, you typically want to treat your 401k as an account of last resort, but in this case, they're making it a little easier to tap into that account for emergency purposes only. Now, the third change allows companies to introduce a special savings feature to their retirement plan called an emergency savings account. So unlike the last provision that allows you to tap into the account and not face that 10% withdrawal, now there's actually a separate account within your 401k that could likely be established called the emergency savings account. This account is designed for short-term emergencies like unexpected bills or medical expenses that you might have that you weren't aware of. Money is added to this account after taxes, similar to a Roth retirement account. Companies can automatically set aside up to 3% of an employee's pay for this account, but employees have the option to adjust this or opt out completely. Now, the maximum that you can contribute each year is $2,500, and that might increase with inflation. We're still waiting on word on that. But companies can choose to lower that limit as well. Now, there's no rule on minimum contributions or balance, but you're allowed to withdraw money from this account at least once a month. So this is really setting up to be that emergency savings account for those that don't have it. And the first 4 withdrawals each year shouldn't have any fees associated with it. Now, the savings can be in cash, accounts that earn interest, or accounts that just aim to keep your initial amount safe. Now, the next change is one of the most impactful changes that I've seen in a long time, and I hope the trend of changes like this continue. Because if you faced domestic abuse, the Secure 2.0 rule now lets you take money out of your retirement account without needing to prove the abuse. You can withdraw up to $10,000 or half of your account, whichever is less. And you won't be charged the usual 10% tax for taking out money early. Plus, you have 3 years to put that money back into your account. And if you do that, you can then get a refund for the income taxes that you paid on the amount you withdrew. Now, the next change is going to impact so many people because approximately 43.6 million people have federal student loans with an average balance of over $37,000. Now, starting in January, employees will be able to match employee student loan payments with matching payments to retirement accounts. This gives workers an extra incentive to save while they're paying off their educational loans. Now, depending on your specific circumstances, these changes may impact you a lot or may not impact you at all. Either way, it's always important to understand your specific plan and how you can maximize it for your benefit. Now, if you need help with your specific 401k, make sure to click the link in the description below and we would be happy to help you out. Now, if retirement is coming up soon, make sure you check out the video coming up next where we discuss the mental struggles that come with retirement. I'll see you there.